you know what, you guys? I feel like I just need to not go out. Like, being out this late, there's no reason for me to be out this late. And I feel like I said this before. I was like, even though if I go out, I'm not gonna drink because of the situation I'm in at the moment. But just witnessing and being around stuff like that, I'm like, there is nothing good happens after, once it starts getting dark. That's when, like, literally people's demons come out when they're drinking. Why would I want to be around that? Like, that's not fun. And I feel like I keep thinking like, oh, I can go out and have fun without drinking, but I'm putting myself in situations where I'm around literal people's demons and literal demons that come out at night when people get drunk, when they're doing drugs, when they're doing all of these things. Like, no thank you. I feel like I'm honestly kind of glad, because I did not need to be out. I did not need to be there. I would have been in the wrong place at the right time, honestly. And it's just, I don't need to put myself in situations like that. I don't want to be around that. Like, literal, I witnessed a crime. I didn't witness the actual crime. I witnessed the aftermath of a crime. And I could not believe what I was seeing. I saw, like, and I came upon it by accident too. But it just made me, I'm like kind of freaking out right now, to the point where I'm like, I'm still like in shock almost about what I just saw. There's too much evil things taking place in the world to really risk putting myself in situations that are not safe. And even though I don't have intentions of like drinking, it's just like there's nothing good happens at this time of night. And I should have stayed in bed. Like, I got home today, and I was out earlier today, but I was back home before like the sun fully set. I got home around a little bit before 10 p.m. And you know what? That needs to be my limit. I need to be home by 10 p.m. every single night, because yeah, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for me. I don't need to be going out. And that was God warning me. You don't need to be going out. You don't need to be out drinking in situations where evil things are taking place and evil deeds are being done and people's demons are coming out because they're drinking these alcohol. And when I tell y'all, I'm not lying when I say it's like people's demons coming out, because it's literal. Like, alcohol is called spirits for a reason. And I remember the other day, I've been saying like I'm mostly sober, and if I go out, I'm not gonna drink. I went out, I did drink, I drank like a shot I had bought a while ago, and it had been sitting in my fridge. It was on Friday. I'd had a day on Friday. I was like, let me drink this drink. And when I tell y'all, it tasted like straight up poison as I was drinking it. And it just made me realize, like, why do we drink alcohol? It literally tastes like poison. We're literally poisoning our bodies every time you drink alcohol. Alcohol is not something that does anything good for your body. It harms it, honestly. Immediately when you start drinking it, it dehydrates the body. It pulls all of the liquid, like all of the water out of your system. It's like you're literally drinking poison when you drink alcohol. And I just remember, because I hadn't had a drink in so long, when I was drinking, I was like, why does this alcohol taste like poison? And it just reminded me, I don't like the taste of alcohol. I never have, which is why I was never a big drinker. But back in like February, March, when I was going out a lot with the friends I was about to meet today, which, you know, thank God I left at the time that I did, because I don't know, it makes me so uncomfortable that I would like could be out and about and there's literal people being stabbed or shot or killed. I have no idea what happened. I just know I saw a boy on the floor, and then I saw blood. He most likely got stabbed. it seemed like he got stabbed and was bleeding out on the ground. And I just like, Lord Jesus, I started praying as I was driving home, because I'm like, I hope that boy's okay. I hope he's not dead. And so many people walked past him and just going about their lives like we're just gonna keep partying as there's somebody who just got stabbed. Like, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't be like, ignore the reality of like the dangers that I'm around. I think it's because I'm sober, honestly, and I'm like, this is no thank you. I would have to be drunk to be like okay with being around a crime and like not want to go home and just want to keep drinking and being out. Like, no thank you. Vibes automatically ruined. We are not, no thank you. No thank you. And that's what I just really wanted to share. Like, you know, alcohol makes people do, and I shouldn't say alcohol makes people do things, because no one's forced to drink alcohol, but when you are drinking and when you do become drunk, you no longer have control over your body. You don't have as much control, and that does make it easier for demonic spirits to take over people. And that's why I say, like, drinking alcohol literally will bring out someone's demons. It will literally turn someone over to their demons. And if you've ever witnessed someone who's extremely drunk and they start speaking all of their demons come out. Literally, their demons come out. Because when you're inebriated, you don't have control over your mind. And like, as a Christian, I feel like I do think as a Christian it's better to be sober. I know, you know, there's a lot of people, like, I'm not saying everyone has to be sober, because I don't have an alcoholic spirit. Like, I don't have the spirit of alcoholism. I don't have a desire to be drunk or drink. Like, that's why I made the video about going sober, because I'm like, I could easily go the rest of my life without drinking. Now, I still like to enjoy a drink on occasion, but what I mean is, if I drink, I'm only having one drink for the entire day. If I drink, I'm never gonna have more than 2 drinks, because I can control myself. It's either none or I'll have one and that's it. But honestly, it's like, alcohol still is not something that you need to be drinking as a Christian, you know. And I think also it's just, again, too many evil things happened while people were under the influence of drugs and alcohol. Like, and you can't just ignore the evil things that people do because they're drunk or because they're on drugs. Not saying that every time someone gets drunk or every time someone takes drugs they're going to partake in, you know, criminal activities. It's mainly just saying, like, when someone does not have full control over their mind, over their thoughts, they're not making the best decisions for themselves. They're typically also putting themselves in less safe or dangerous positions. So, like I said, I tried to, like, I'm gonna go out and be sober tonight and, you know, meet with my friends, and God said, you're not. He said, no ma'am, go home. And literally that's exactly what I do. I was like, I can't, I'm not staying here. I can't stay out here after seeing that. A reminder that it's not safe to go out. No matter how safe you think it is, any time, at any given time, you know, stuff like that, especially when it's dark. When it's late at night is when most crimes happen. Most crimes are committed in the dark. And that's biblical too. Like, it talks about how, you know, people love to do their dirty deeds and their dirty acts in the night. You know, they feel like they can hide it. They can be more hidden. It's like, it's literally when demons come out. It's at night. So me, I need to take my behind home and I should have stayed home. I had no business being out. And like I said, I was being, was trying to tell myself, I could go out and not have any issues, and the only issue is that drink. Like, it's just like God is just reminding me, it's like the reason that it's not about just not drinking, right? Because I can say like, oh, well, the problem with me going out is that I was drinking. But God is reminding me, no, even if you're not drinking, look at what you're surrounding yourself with. Look at who's around, who else is going out. There's people going out at night with nothing but bad intentions. There's people going out with plans to do evil things, with plans, I want to get effed up, I want to get drunk. That's how they have a good time. And it's just crazy, because especially when you're young, you really don't think about any of the ramifications or any of the dangers. But I'm almost 30. I'm almost 30. I'm too old to really be like, I feel like I'm too my prefrontal cortex, basically, my decision-making skills are actually a little more solid now. Not the best, but a little bit more solid. I have the ability to make better decisions than I would at 21. Because at 21, I would have been like, oh, someone just got shot, let me keep drinking. And that's like, honestly, some of the people that I was around. But I just could not, like, Like I said, God said no, and I'ma listen. If you see, like, I don't know, I'm like, how am I supposed to just go on about my night now, being out after seeing someone literally bleeding on the floor before I even could park, y'all? Oh, no thank you. No thank you. And my friends, like, just watching it, like, oh, now they're putting out the caution tape. Girl, I told you someone got stabbed or shot. Like, ooh. But she's probably been drinking. And like I said, when you're drinking, you're not thinking about, like, maybe it's not good to be out here when there's someone literally who's out and stabbed somebody. The person who stabbed or shot him is literally out on the prowl right now. Somebody has to know. One of his friends, I saw so many people approach him. I didn't want to get out my car. I literally just started backing out, like, Lord, I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here, because I could not believe what I was seeing. And it honestly took me a minute. I saw someone on the ground, and I'm thinking, like, did he trip and fall? That's what my first thought was. I was like, did someone trip and fall? Like, why is he on the floor? And then there's all these people around. They're all just looking. I'm like, are y'all helping? Why aren't people helping them? And then slowly I saw, like, a man come and, like, check on him and, like, all this stuff. I wasn't about to get out my car. Now, if I was already out of my car, yes, maybe I would have. But Lord, it's just like, there's too much demonic activities take place at this time of night, and I need to be in bed. My butt needs to be in bed, getting ready so I can get up and go to church. Now, I was going to go to church in the morning regardless, but this is just like, Lord, God is just literally reminding me, like, nothing good happens at this time of night. You don't need to be out. You don't need to be out. Reminder to myself, reminder to other people, like, what was I gonna do? What was I planning on doing? I mean, I was really just planning on dancing, but that is not important. And that is not a priority when there's, yeah. All right, I made it back home safely, and now we are about to get in bed, because that was a lot that just took place within that. I left my house at like 37 minutes. I just wasted of my day, but at the end of the day, I made it back safely, and that's what's important. But I can't believe I really can't believe what all just transpired in the 30 minutes I had when I just left my house. Let me check, because when I was trying to back out in the parking garage, I had to bump something. All right, my dad's car is good, because he would be super upset if anything happened to his car. That's the other thing. I also didn't feel comfortable. Really, I don't feel comfortable taking my dad's car out at night, just because I'm like, if something happens to it, like, that's not my car. And I'm not gonna risk my dad's car. I really wanted some tacos, but God said you don't need them tacos either. All right, y'all. That was, like I said, a really, really, scary situation. Like, when I left my house tonight, that is not what I was expecting. And like I said, it's just like, it's a reminder that there's still a lot of evil things happening in this world. There's a lot of people doing things with not good intentions because they don't know Jesus, because they're not saved, because they're still living according to the world. And, you know, I can't be naive and think that, you know, I can still go out into the world and be around worldly things and think, and forget like what the world stands for and what the world does. And at the end of the day, all of those people are people who need Jesus, who maybe don't know the love of God. But at the end of the day, it's just like, it's just a reminder that there's a lot of evil things happening in this world, and I shouldn't be putting myself in the vicinity of those things. And like when you're out at night like that, you're literally placing yourself near bad situations, basically, like putting yourself in vicinity to that. Like, even if you're not planning to partake it, it's just like you could be in the wrong place at the wrong time, because there's nothing good that comes out of being out late at night. Now, I know that there's some, and this is something I'm honestly kind of considering, there are like some nighttime street preachers, right? Like, every now and then you'll see like evangelists or street preachers who are out when people are going out to the bars and they're preaching the word of God. That is the only time maybe it's acceptable to be out. And even that, I feel like, has a lot of risk, because you're still like, I don't know, putting yourself in a situation that maybe is not as safe, but at the same time you're doing it so that you can reach people who are not saved. Anyways, that just ruined, I don't think it ruined my night, because I really didn't care to go out. I just had told my friend I was gonna go, and so I was like, let me try to honor what I said, because I don't like to, like, I feel like I was constantly canceling on her, or being like, oh, I would go out, but this, but that. But then when I do try to go out, I witness the crime. So that kind of just solidified for me, I need to keep my behind at home. And yeah, we ain't going out. We're not going out. I don't need to be going out. Like, that was actually wild to me. And I just feel like it's getting worse. It seems like more and more crimes are happening now. And I can't just like ignore the seriousness of that. Like, someone's life literally could have been ending. And I did call 911. I don't know if I said that. And when I called 911, as I was leaving the scene, they told me, oh, someone else has already reported it. I was like, okay, thanks. I just wanted to make sure. You never want to, like, I'd rather call than assume. Like, and I was like, I feel like because of all the people around, it's like someone's had to have called 911 already. But I just wanted to do it as a precaution because you just never know. And the bystander effect basically is when no one does something because they think someone else is going to do it, and then nothing happens. So I just wanted to make sure I called the police because in case no one else did. But considering the seriousness of that, like, and I hate calling 911, but I did what I had to do. Anyways, we're back home in the comfort of our bed. We're going to take our makeup off and call it a night because that was wild. Wild, wild, wild. Thank you, Jesus, for protection. Thank you, Jesus, that I was not, Lord, I just can't believe. It just is like reminding me like how you might think you're safe, but never take it for granted. Never take the protection God is giving you for granted. Never take that for granted. I've had a lot of, not so great situations happen, including my car being broken into, and that made me feel less safe. And I was just like, why did this have to happen to me? Like, why do I have to deal with a broken car window and some other stuff? It made me feel not safe to be, at my dad's house. And, I just have to trust that God's protecting me even when it seems things around me seem very scary. Like, I feel like there's situations that can be avoided, and situations like what I just witnessed can be avoided by not going out at night when it's not safe, when there's nothing good happening. So it's just like reminding me, the world that we live in is really not that safe. Going out at night puts you at risk for so many bad situations, not just with or without drinking, because like I said, I'm not drunk. I wasn't drinking. I did have one drink earlier tonight when I was hanging out with my friend, and then we got food after, so it wasn't like a strong drink or anything. So I didn't feel like I was doing anything wrong, but I knew I wasn't going to drink if I went back out again tonight. But I just am grateful for, God. I feel like corrections, God will correct you in different ways. I feel like this was just the sign that I needed, that I don't need to be going out at all. Even if I'm not drinking, I don't need to be going out, because it's a reminder that there's a lot of evil things happening at night, and I don't want to witness all of those things. Like, I don't enjoy seeing people getting hurt or knowing that there's people out doing violence. I mean, not to mention just like there's gang violence. Like, you just never know. You never know what someone's intentions are. And it's just like, you want to believe when you're young that, people are just going out to have a good time, and it's just about, it's just about having a good time, and being drunk is fun, and party, party, party. But this is like my sober mind sees it for what it actually is, which is why I said it's literal people's demons just coming out every time they get drunk. And then, there's people going out with nothing but bad intentions. Like, I don't know what would provoke someone to stab someone. Like, I just I cannot. I'm glad I didn't see too much of the scene, which I'm grateful for, because I don't handle like gory images like that. But it was enough for me to be like, Lord, I need to go home, and remind me to, like, this is why you don't need to be going out. So yeah, that is all I'm gonna say. I will be at church in the morning. I'm going to say my prayers. Thank God for his mercies and protection over me, because who knows, if I had left my house or gotten there any earlier, I might have seen the person. Ugh. And I just don't understand, like, what provokes someone, like, how someone could do something like that to someone. Like, unless it's self-defense, like I said, wrong place at the right time. And there's so many people who, like, have nothing but bad intentions, or they're just trying to steal, they want to steal something somebody has. It's just, there's been so many things that are just reminding me that the world is not, can be a very evil place. And there's people who don't know God, and I don't know, y'all. Overall, we don't want to ever, I don't want to be in that I don't want to be in a situation like that ever. And I also don't want to have to witness stuff like that. So we are going to be team keep your butt at home. Be home by 10 p.m. every night. I feel like after 10 p.m. is where nothing good happens. And that's what, it's just like, I had no business being out. You know, were my intentions to do something evil or to, no, but it still is just like, I'm not putting myself in a good position being out past 10 p.m. And God reminded me that it's not safe to be out past this night, and that there are a lot of evil things happening that I don't need to be around. Even if, yeah, it's just, I don't need to be around that. All right, that's it. I feel like I repeated myself a bunch of times in this video. I liked my makeup. I wish I was able to get pictures of it, but you know what? I like being at home in my bed safe more than being out and about and around that type of stuff. So, peace out, guys.